Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Berryman here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. Welcome, everyone, to our Bringing Humanity Together live stream. Today is Humanity Happy Hour with our great friend and my mentor and partner, Carla Fedigan. This is one of the three open forums under the Bringing Humanity Together umbrella, where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues that are out there that people are facing, because it is our goal to both work with employers and employees to bring humanity back into the workforce. And as always, we'll be going live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Feel free to invite your friends, coworkers, colleagues, um, family, friends, even our fur babies. Dogs, cats, bring them all. We would love to have them all. And also, if you can, also share the replay, and also share it with your family and friends too as well. As you see, Carla Fedigan is the host of Humanity Happy Hour every Thursday. I host Conversation for Humanity every Wednesday, and Sandy Chernoff hosts Share and Care with Sandy on Tuesdays. And if you're watching this on the replay, please comment hashtag replay in your comment and let us know where you're watching from. And if you're watching this live, please let us know any questions, comments, or feedback you want to do with us in our conversation today. We would love to get connected with you. And just to let you guys know, we can have up to 10 people allowed to join into the chat and in the live stream together. So just want to let you guys know, if you like to be able to do that, the live link will be in the LinkedIn Live here in just a few minutes and everything. So here's my great friend and mentor and colleague, Carla Fedigan.
Hey, Chris, my two lazy coworkers just came into the room. So
Two lazy coworkers.
It's like when I want you to sleep on the couch. I went walking in there before, and one of them was just sprawled out on the couch, and the other one was in the chair. And it's like I wanted to get a picture, and then one of them got up, and I thought, well, that would. But they were literally my two lazy coworkers. I'm babysitting my daughter's beagle along with my own. So
Yeah.
I have to mute. I'll end up muting, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think the neighbors are walking by or anything. But all week we've been talking about transformation, and I just got a great book in the mail. I didn't think it was going to come till maybe this weekend. But as you know, I love John C. Maxwell, and I know you do too, Chris. It's called Change the World. He actually has a John C. Maxwell Leadership Center in my church here in Atlanta. And I've heard him speak a couple of times, and I do Mondays with Maxwell on Mondays on Facebook. And no, he doesn't pay me to do PR for him, but he's just a legend, and he's just so great. And one of the chapters that he had, I mean, I literally went to the table of contents and said, surely John C. Maxwell has something on transformation. And sure enough, he did. And it's so funny. Chris and I were talking about this in the pre-show, and Chris says, well, you got to catch this video that he did on Minute with Maxwell this morning. So we thought that we would share it with you guys, because it truly comes from within. And then once you start that self-transformation, it leads into changing the lives of others, and it just grows. Whereas everyone thinks that they can change the world, you really have to work on changing yourself first. And so we're going to share the video with you. And if for some reason it's not coming through, we'll post the link in the comments. So let it rip, Chris.
All right, here we go.
So I hope you guys were able to hear that. I know I couldn't hear it on my end, but we'll post the link in there for you all to listen to. But it basically talks about making the change within yourself first. And with that, you can in turn change or transform the world. And in his book, they share some principles on how to go through that process, and they share some great stories. I literally got it in the mail, and I haven't dived in. So if you're looking for me later, I'll probably be reading. But I love the simple thing of, if you want to change the world, he says on the back, it says, be somebody that does something and change your world. And so when you change your world and you become a more positive person and you start that enlightenment and you're changing yourself, you're going to in turn attract people that want to have that change just like you've done. So one of the things he talks about in his chapter, Chris and I were talking about that, is that transformation, of course, is the same thing as change. And people will say, change, 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 change. Let's change the world. Let's change the culture. Let's do this. Let's do that. And we always talk about how people are resistant to change. And I don't understand why people don't want to be positive, be resistant to positive change and positivity in their life and positivity in the workforce and to make things better. But one of the things he also talks about is he says we can't wait for change and we need to change our community. And that starts with us personally. And then that goes to our family, and that goes to our work environment, and it goes to everywhere that we encounter. What is the saying that people say? They don't care how much you make. They want to know how well you treat people. It doesn't matter how much you tip a waitress at a restaurant. It's how you treat her, and how you treat people in general. And then he also said we can't go it alone. There's truth in the expression that teamwork makes the dream work, and no man is an island. Chris and I were talking about this beforehand, that when people have serious illnesses in the family, there's usually one caregiver, two caregivers. They try and do it alone. And next thing you know, they are just totally exhausted. Whereas if they could surround themselves with people that were willing to help them and knew what was going on in this situation, they would be far better off in the situation than where they find themselves at that point in time. Mm-hmm. And John C. Maxwell also talked about that life is better at the table. And that's one of his chapters in the book. And he talks about remembering about how when we were younger, we learned good values from bad values sitting at the kitchen table. And that brought back thoughts to me about when I was growing up. It was, my parents always were, teaching us good values. And it reminded me of, all my friends would come over to my parents' house because they loved hanging out with me and my parents. Not that I was mispopular or anything, but it was like, and we literally sit around the kitchen table and talk about this, that, or the other. And so we talked about how values were shared around the kitchen table. And the way we are now, a lot of families don't even eat dinner together. So we need to get back to that. And I think that COVID helped us with that because it helped us slow down. It helped us see that there is value in family and that we all need to be more cohesive as a family unit instead of feeding Johnny and Susie in the backseat of the car in between overcommitted events during the course of the week. We need to get back to the family and the family values. And problems at work don't get solved by one person, or they shouldn't be. We all need to take ownership on what's going on with the company, and granted, sometimes there's decisions that have to be made by the higher up. But a lot of times, if there's a simple problem in the unit, for example, or on the team, can all sit together at the table and work that problem out and come up with solutions. Chris, that I was thinking about a while back, you were telling a story about somebody that you worked with. Someone had offered a constructive solution to make the line more efficient. And the first kickback they were given was, well, that helps you out, but it doesn't help me out. Why are you doing that? You're only looking out for yourself.
Right.
That's that somebody with a positive idea trying to let's see how this works. Not necessarily having to get together a team of 20 people. Let's see how it works. Mm-hmm. And then if it doesn't work, I'm sure that the positive person would have said, I really thought in my mind that this would have worked, but it's not working. So let's look at another solution. Whereas if they meet up with this person that are just constantly shooting you down any ideas that you come up with, people are going to be resistant to want to even open their mouth anymore. Mm-hmm. And even on a grander scale, if people have solutions in the workplace and no one's listening, people are going to stop talking.
Exactly. And sometimes, Carla, when you do try something, you learn something in that trial that maybe the original idea changes a little bit, but that it still originated from that idea brought by the person. But trying it out can actually lead to other things that make it better, potentially. So.
Well, it does. It does. And see, when I've offered up ideas to others about things that would be better for everyone involved, I'm doing this because it's not about me. It is not. And even when I was in a place of leadership, whether to be a trainer or whatever, team leader, I just knew that whatever people wanted to give to me as a way to be able to make their job easier, I'd listen to them and say, hey, I understand that because number one, I may relate to that. I've been to that place. I understand the job function or whatever that may have been. All like I said, it's not about me. And when we put that kind of hat on and that mindset on, I truly believe that we can open up to a much larger world. And what me and Carla was discussing earlier, it's a like John C. Maxwell says that positivity is contagious. Yeah, absolutely love that. But you know what's even just as contagious too? We have to literally retrain our brains in to doing is we get into the negativity, and if we give into that very negativity, we're going to be set in that way. So for us to retrain our brains, we got to say, hey, I'm going to think of the positive, not the negative, because if we do that, we're not going to have a great day because it's like, okay, it's just like what happened with your buddy shooting golf? You need to share that example.
She was saying, oh, I can never get the ball over this. There's like a big ravine, so I can never get it over the junk. And I said, well, if you don't try it, you won't. And in fact, I didn't tell you this, Chris. Her son was, her grandson actually came out and played a few holes with us. He's the typical male, wants to get out there and play perfect every time, doesn't give himself any credit, and just is really hard on himself. And I was just telling him, he was saying, well, I'm just not going to make this putt. And I said, well, Owen, if you tell yourself you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it. But if you think that you can and say, I can make this, it may not happen, but it's okay, you're going to make it. So my friend, she ended up getting her ball over the ravine, and she's going, I never do that. I said, well, you can't say that anymore because you just did. So she said, I'm her good luck charm and her piece of positivity. I need to go let the dog out. I'll be right back.
Yes. All right. No worries. But let's go back to the conversation that we had yesterday, Lisa. What did you take from that clubhouse conversation that we had yesterday?
really, I think there are a lot of people. I think the majority in the group, I know it wasn't a ton of people, but the majority in the group saw a need to transform business, transform the lives of people at work. We obviously are always going to have some differences in opinion, and Brian was talking, very realistically about business, and business is there to produce a product and make money, which exactly, I mean, a company's not going to be in business if it doesn't do something, either produce a product or a service, or as well as make money. But we should be able to do this while taking care of the people, and it should make, in my opinion, it just makes everything better. Like Stacy was saying, her department is a true example of how focusing on the people, it only increased the service to the patients, and it made things better, not just for them, for the employees in that department, but also for the patients, because they were happier. They were happier. They were doing, they were being treated right in the department, and that only went over into the care of the patients. And I think that can hold true for any business.
Well, do you remember what she said to when she actually started reading the survey to us about how much of a response that she got out of the people who is in that very department? Do you remember the
Mhm.
numbers?
Yeah, she said 77%, I think it was. 77% participated in the survey. And since they, have been improving, and prior to that it was around 40, I think it was, if I remember right.
Well, well
40%.
I think she also said this in the most recent times that they've done this. I think the last survey, there was only like one person who didn't participate in the survey, and they
Or
could have
that's
gotten
right,
a
it was, yeah, you're right, 98%. It
right.
was
Yeah,
the overall average for the company was 77%, I think it was.
right.
For the department, it was, prior to this last survey, it was 40%. This survey was 98% participation. So they had one person in the department not participate. And
Why
I
did
thought
that
it was,
person not participate?
she didn't know. She said that they wanted to know who that one person was, but
She did. She's like,
Yeah,
"Where's that one person?"
because you'd want to
you
understand
really
why
want to
you
keep
do
it
not
anonymous,
participate.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one reason or another. It could be they were off on vacation, or who knows, but um, that still says a lot that 98% participated, and it was a huge increase from the time before. And so she thought a lot of that had to do with the management and the focus that the manager, the leader of the department, put on focusing on people.
Mm.
So the leader sets the stage. The leader sets the stage for the atmosphere. And so if leaders are confident and open, then the people are going to feel more comfortable participating and providing feedback.
And I couldn't believe that she was actually a nurse in
Mm-hmm.
that field.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, oh my gosh, her and Carla would just, I swear, would just get along so well
Yes,
and
they would.
everything. I mean, seriously. And what was so great about it is she saw the need. And Carla, you're going to love this lady. Stacy is actually a nurse. And she actually works in the hospital there in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, it can be done. So you two will hit it off really well. I know it. She wants to be a part of this. I can already tell.
Yes. Yes. And so she was giving us examples of what she had seen and the transformation that she had seen in the department. And she was stating how it was just a happier place to be.
Well, that's
And yeah, all of that, um, really helped the patients, and the patients could feel the difference too in the care that they received because their department was happier. So that was a really good call that we were on. And Stacy was very excited.
Yeah, you truly need that in healthcare.
I think we need it in a lot of other
A lot of industries,
sectors
yeah, for sure.
too. Yeah. I mean, you've got your manufacturing facilities or sector industry is very fast paced, hurry up, get it done, work a ton of hours. So it's definitely needed.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm sure in a lot of industries, but yeah, I could see it in the medical field because you directly affect the patients and their care, so having a bad experience at work could really cause issues, not just for you, but for the patients too.
Oh yeah, like Sandy said before, they can feel if there's tension in the air. Just like
Mhm.
if you've got somebody that's negative in the workplace and already, and or you never know what it's going to be like on any given day. There's some days you walk in and you go,
Right,
going to be one of those days. Yeah.
right. Well, I worked with somebody that was constantly complaining about other people, and he was a manager. And when he would come in, I always told my managers, you know what? This is a free space to talk. Come in here, come into my office, shut the door, vent, and get everything out on the table so you don't do it in front of the team members, in front of the employees. And he comes in, complain about people. This person isn't doing that. This person isn't doing that. And at first, I would just listen to him and it would bring my day down. And so I got to thinking about this. And, I asked him one day, I said, well, if there really is an issue with this person's performance, then it's up to us because we pride ourselves on being one team and being there for each other. Then it's really up to us to talk to them and give them constructive feedback on how to fix the situation. Otherwise, it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. And yes, you're coming in here to vent is great. You feel comfortable to be able to do that, but it's really not making any difference. It's not making a change. And so got to the point where he kind of stopped doing that because I don't think he really wanted to provide the feedback. And I'm not sure he was truly concerned if he was just being negative. So I told him it's up to us as leaders to talk to these individuals if we're having issues, because it not only affects you, it affects all of our work, it affects the product, it affects our service if things aren't going the way that we think they should be. And we need to figure out a solution so that we don't keep having issues. And so yeah, I think it's important as leaders to lead by example and to make sure that if we see issues that we work with the individuals to improve in a positive way, because I think there's negative ways to do that and positive ways to do that.
Well, there's a lot of people that say, I don't want to open up a can of worms, or I just don't want to go there, and
Right.
they don't go anywhere. They don't go there and nothing gets solved.
Well, and sometimes I've learned sometimes people are just negative and they're not really, it's not really an issue like it is. That's just their way of interacting with people. It apparently made him feel better to talk about other people.
Yeah.
And when I put the ball back in his court and said, hey, you do something about it. It's up to us. We're managers, we're leaders. We need to do something about it if there's an issue. I never seen an issue, but he would complain a lot about others. And I would just say, well, we need to do something about it, not just complain about it.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
take action and try to help the individual because we're a team and we should be helping each other.
Did
if
you
you see
actually come up with like something constructive to address, or was he okay?
No, no. And actually some of the people reported to him and it was never addressed on a performance evaluation or anything. So that's why when he would come
Wow.
in, when he would come in after performance evals and I would say he would complain and I would say, well, how come you didn't address it on a performance evaluation? Oh, well, so then it was like backpedaling. So I knew it was just fluff and he was just complaining.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just who he was. And I had to figure out a way for him to do it in a positive way. But I don't want to sit and listen to negative comments all the time about other people. If
Oh, yeah.
one, there isn't a real issue. If there's a real issue, then yes, we have to address it. But he's not even willing to put it on a performance evaluation. I'm not going to sit and listen to it. And so again, I just tried to throw the ball back in his court and say, you're their leader. You need to do something about it. And not only does it affect your department, if it affects your department, it affects all of us. And so it's something that we have to do if we want things to change. We can't just, talk to our bulu in the face about someone and expect things to change.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's where it goes back to starting with yourself.
Exactly.
If you want to change the culture in the workplace and you've got a negative workplace, you think, look at what you're saying and what you're doing. Are you the source of the negativity, or are you just jumping on the negative bandwagon? So if you want to see that change, you need to be the positive person.
Right. And that's where I
say, hey, isn't it a beautiful day outside? Instead of saying, hey, are you having a good day? Or, oh, it's hot outside. You can say, hey, it's a beautiful day outside.
Exactly.
And if somebody says, well, it's just so hot, I said, yeah, I remember a couple of summers ago, it was about 110, 115 for like a month at a time. Thank God we're not there anymore. I love the 80-degree days, There's ways to turn that stuff around.
Exactly.
Politely just say, oh, just stop. Just stop.
Right.
I don't do TikTok a lot, and you'll never see me do the pointy dances or anything like that. But I love the one that says, just stop it. Because sometimes when you've got people that are negative and they just go on and on and on, you just want to look at them and go, just stop it.
Right. Exactly. And that actually stopped him from complaining as much, coming in and complaining. So that was definitely a good way of doing that, because he didn't want to hear, we'll do something about it.
Yeah, I worked with a medical assistant many years ago that was just negative from the minute she walked in to the minute she left. She didn't like the way that anybody did anything. She didn't like the way that they had. This was before electronic medical recording and how we would get information out to the satellite locations and all this stuff. She just didn't like the workflow. She didn't like. I said, you seem to just be very unhappy. And of course, I let her vent for a little while, and I go, well, when you're working at a job, you're usually spending more time there than you are at home for waking hours. So, it's really important to like where you work. Is this really the right place for you? What? Are you telling me that I should quit? I said, well, no, I want you to find happiness.
Right.
Right.
I said, you do what you got to do, but you got to be happy.
Right. And that forced her to take a look at what she was doing, hopefully. Did she ever change, or did she leave?
Huge mistake. And she ended up quitting right then and there on the spot.
Gotcha.
No way.
It was sad because, you don't need that in the work environment, but you think of them as an individual, how unhappy they are. No, life doesn't have to be that way.
Right. Makes you wonder how their home life is too.
Yeah.
If she's negative there, or they're negative in their workplace, they're probably negative at home too.
They probably talk to each other negatively,
Yeah, there's probably just a lot of unhappiness, and that's sad
Yeah, it is. It really is.
because life is short.
Yep.
Life is short.
Tomorrow is not promised.
Nope.
Exactly.
No.
And see, that is why I'm really of a firm believer of changing your mindset, change your state of being, saying, hey, I am going to be positive today. Even though we had a tropical storm yesterday, hey, it's just another fact of life. We just got to keep moving forward and just make the best of what we've got. Because if we start feeding into that very negative, it's like what Brian has said many times on these calls with us. Sometimes what will end up happening, you will literally leap right into that very reality that you're going to play right into because if someone tells you, okay, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, or whatever the case may be, and then you get into your brain saying, okay, I'll be negative, I'll be that Debbie Downer all day. I mean, really. Not
Yeah.
only does it get you down, it's going to get me down, then it's going to get Carla down, and then it's going to get Lisa down. And who wants to be down all day? I ain't having it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I truly believe that, like I said, if we can really uplift people, just like what Carla said. Oh, yeah. Thank God we're in now in 80-degree weather. No worries.
hmm
It could be worse. It could be snowing.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and I have lived in snow. I know. I used to live in Louisville, Kentucky. Don't give me get me started on that
Yeah.
because that's a whole story unto itself.
That's
there.
well, you changed. You moved to Florida. One day
Yes,
I
I
wanted to move
did.
to Florida.
Yes, I did. I said I'm heading to Florida, and I never looked back. But that's I think for us, even when it comes to a 360 to a 360-degree leader dynamic, like John C. Maxwell has in that great book, The 360-Degree Leader, we can be those people to say, hey, you know what? Why are you down today? What's going on? How can we be of service? And really extend that invitation to connect and say, hey, what's going on? Is it because you just had a car trouble today, whatever the thing it might be? Because, see, you just don't know. And we presume so much in the negative, oh, they're this way because they're always that way. Well, we don't know until we ask.
Yeah.
And for me, I truly believe the ask is just as important as extending that invitation. And if we don't try to even do that, not only will we lose out on something big, but they will lose out on something big too as well. And then it's a double loss for everybody involved, if not more so.
Well, helping other people in the workplace really not only fosters a positive attitude in the workplace, but it helps the individual.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, some people are very self-centered and they don't ask for help or, they don't offer help to anybody else. It's all about them,
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
it really doesn't hurt to go above and beyond and just say, hey, how's it going today?
Right. Or a simple smile can go a long ways.
Oh yeah. And I think, that's one thing that's been missing over the past year and a half.
I'm sure they told you I'm about to spray. You can't be in the unit.
Okay, I get it.
Just gonna open all this up so everything can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think Chris is having work done.
Yes. I'm trying to get my painting done in my bathroom right now.
Oh, well, I'll trade your dog barking. Max, I'll take you out in a little while, okay? We'll go out later. He's looking at me like, are we going out? You could go out in the backyard. The door's open. It's like I told my husband last night, I said, I love my daughter dearly. I love her dog. It's my grand dog. But we're not having two dogs in this house. One is enough. One's enough.
Right.
Enough. But no, he's a love.
Right.
He's a sweetie.
My hubby said that about cats. 2 cats is it. And then my mother, a couple of years ago, my mother passed away and I had to take over her cat. So now we have 3.
Yeah.
We were at our limit, but I told my husband, I said, I cannot let that cat go.
Well,
I promised my mom.
my husband doesn't listen to this program, so and he doesn't even know where it is, so unless it's on Facebook, but he won't listen on Facebook.
Right.
My daughter's moving to Zurich, and so if for some reason she's not able to take her dog, I would take
You'll
her
have a third.
before she gave up the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do those things.
Yeah. So, no, I think going that extra step to care about people, and not just, yeah, it's great to have a birthday board at work and celebrate people's birthdays and stuff. But when you have to go around the office and remind everybody that it's so-and-so's birthday, what do you think we should do or whatever? And it's like, it's so much of an effort for even people to participate. That's kind of sad.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, just give me a second, okay?
Yeah. It's nice when you can have an inclusive workplace or group where everybody feels comfortable and wants to participate. For sure.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you know there's a need for a transformation of sorts, and that you need to do something different, and things need to change.
Hey, ladies, I'm just gonna have my camera off for a little bit, so just carry on the conversation.
We'll continue. We know how it is. I have my back door open. I'm with the air conditioner blazing, but I know the dogs can go in and out, and I won't be disturbed. That's the difference between dogs and cats. Cats don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, cats can just go to the litter box. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we did the cat thing, because we go up north a lot on the weekends in the summer, and it was just easier to have cats than dogs.
Yeah. Well, I actually grew up with Siamese cats, and I had a Siamese cat for 16 years. And then I had allergy testing done and found out I was allergic to cats.
Oh, wow.
And I never knew.
Know.
Well, I had some sinus problems, but I thought it was always pollen or whatever. Little did I know it was my cat. But he ended up living a full life at 16 years.
16 is pretty good. Yeah. My one cat is she's going to be 15 this year. And and then the other cat's like 11 or 12, and then the newest one is just a baby, so she's only a year. Well, no, like 2 years now. So she was like 6 months old when I got her. So my mom was really worried about her cat, and I said, "Don't worry about your cat.
We'll take care of your cat."
Yeah.
Well, she was probably saying, "But your husband doesn't want another cat. Don't worry about that."
She didn't know.
Oh, she didn't know. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
It started out, she went into hospice, and at first we thought maybe she'd get better, but didn't turn out that way. So I, just told her, we'll take care of her. We'll take care of her for you. And as soon as you get out, she'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So that made her feel better anyways, that her cat was coming to live with us, even if initially it was going to be temporary.
And now it's for life. That's okay.
It's for life now. Yep. And it's kind of funny because she's kind of she's a reminder of my mom now.
Oh, wow. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. So, I mean, not that I really need a reminder, but it's just funny when I look at that kitten, I think of my mom and how worried she was about her. And so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And as my dad, I lost my mom in 2008 to cancer, and my dad literally didn't change anything in the house. And I go walking in, it's like mom could walk from upstairs anytime, because that presence is just there. So it's great that you have your pets to remind you of that.
Yeah. Yep. She was a lover of animals, that's for sure. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good.
She had just gotten the kitten, I don't know, 2 months before.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, 2 or 3 months before. So, and then she ended up in hospice. And so we took her home, took the kitten home and took care of the kitten. And like I said, so she felt better that the kitten was being taken care of. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
I
That's
would
great.
send her, take her pictures of the cat with my mom, with my son and different things. And it made her smile.
Yeah. 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 Hey, nothing better than that, huh?
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I missed the very first part of the conversation because I was trying to log in. I'm going to have to update my calendars with the links or something. But were we talking about the book 360 degree?
No, we were actually talking about, it's not a new book. It just came out in January. It's called Change the World by John
Change
C.
Your World? Okay.
And they were talking about changing, changing your world starts with changing yourself. And then
Okay.
changing your family, your community, your whole environment. And that, everybody says, oh, I'm going to change the world. Well, you got to start with
Mhm.
changing yourself. And that's one thing he was talking about. I don't know if you heard it or not. I forget when you jumped in. Chris had come up with the video that he saw this morning, Minute with Maxwell. And
Okay. I kind of seen a second of it, but yeah.
yeah, I used to subscribe to it. I have to figure out why I'm not getting it anymore. But he's got really good nuggets of wisdom.
Okay.
It was on transformation and starting with transforming yourself.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
And then we were talking about taking it into the workplace and taking it into the family. And, that's one thing I like about this group is that we want to make a change. We want to make a change in how people in the workplace get together, how leadership and the employees relate to one another. I was just talking to a nurse today who was a nursing instructor. And she was talking about how many there are nurses that have burnout. And we were talking about how they're burnout coaches on LinkedIn and Instagram everywhere, and which is great. I think it's great for them to be able to help people with the tools to kind of offset the burnout. But it also has to start from within, and it has to start with you and how you think about yourself and how you value yourself. To say, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to take time to meditate, do yoga, go out and walk for 30 minutes. I value myself because I'm going to make healthy food choices. And I'm going to take care of my health. It's got to come from within. Plus, it's got to come from the other side, because I was saying, it's all well and good that people are learning strategies on how to survive the workplace, but we want people to thrive in the workplace. So that's how we kind of got into what we were doing and wanting people to thrive as opposed to just surviving, and have leadership and the employees communicating together and working together and making the work environment the best it can be. I'm not talking about putting up ping pong tables and hammock chairs and all those kind of things to have those moments that I'm going to go in my zone and do my best reflection and my best production, that kind of thing. But just listening to people and making that work environment the best it can be.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But I mean, we started as a table of a few people. And what we're doing is adding people to that table, that transformation table that John C. Maxwell talks about. We all think a lot alike in terms of how we treat ourselves, how we treat our family, our positivity, our inspiration that we want to give to other people. And it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Right, exactly. And we just need to keep doing that, and eventually we'll have even more people as a part of it.
Yeah,
One person at a time.
yeah, and I say it this way: one person at a time, one company at a time, one community at a time. I even dare say one nation at a time. It's going to get there because we're international already. I mean, we have
Mhm.
people in Australia, we have people in Canada already. Uh,
England.
I mean, there's so many people that are there. We're just basically just waiting in the wings, and it's almost like once we have that momentum, it's just going to take off like a rocket ship, and I just know it. And that's why I'm
Mhm.
so glad that you and Sandy and Michael and all of you are here, and we're getting more people involved in it because not only they want to change, but they see the change happening, and we
Mhm.
can be that change not only from a positive standpoint but the human impact standpoint. Because there's one thing that really interconnects us all, ladies, is our very humanity. And once we get to that very tangible, value based system that's about
Mhm.
very value, there's nothing that we can't do.
For sure.
Exactly.
It's like I said before. To me, the next currency of humanity is not going to be rooted in money. It's going to be rooted in value. And once we showcase that value to people and they know it's innate to them, and they feel it
Mhm.
in their bones and it's tangible, what can we not do and what can we not achieve?
For sure.
Right.
John C. Maxwell also has a workbook that goes with his book. Let's see if I can get.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, John, if you're listening, we would love you to come speak with
Yeah.
us. Yes, a little plug there for you.
Yeah. You don't owe me anything, John. You know, although I want to meet you when you come to our church next October. But anyway, I ended up getting the workbook first, thinking I got the book, and I didn't get the book. I got the workbook, and then the book just came today. But I love this quote in one of the lessons. The lesson is we all need one another, and it says, "I can do what you cannot, and you can do what I cannot, and together we will do great things."
I love that.
nice.
Isn't that
Yes.
right? That's from Mother Teresa.
Say that again. Say that again.
It's from Mother Teresa. I can do what you cannot, and you can do what I cannot. Together, we can do great things.
That is so spot on.
Nice. That's awesome.
And that
That's
ties
great.
into I help you, you help me, we help we.
We help we.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly. It ties into that we're all interconnected.
Mhm.
Yes,
And before we
we
started,
are.
Chris and I were talking about the contagiousness of positivity. And we said that negativity can be as contagious too. I mean, we kid about people jumping on the negative bus, you know? Well, we need to flatten those tires and turn around. And when people are negative, spin it to the positive. And with
Spin it to the
that, people
positive.
will start thinking more positively. And people are going to start wanting to hang out with more positive people.
Yes.
Or turn it around to make things more actionable. You know, if there's a problem, let's fix it.
Yeah.
You know, let's not just talk about the problem. Let's
always
fix
happens.
the problem.
Yeah. Well, what would you do to fix it?
Right.
You know, it's like those leaders that say, don't come to me with a problem unless you have a solution to fix it
Mhm.
or an idea to fix it.
Well,
Right.
see, I don't like that dynamic because you're presenting an issue that you want to address. It's just like what you go with that very quote from Mother Teresa. That plays right into that very well because if I'm bringing a problem to you, I will take it to either Lisa or to yourself and say, "Hey, we have this issue. How would you approach?" And that's the way I always would look at things because see if we can do it from that dynamic, and maybe you might see something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's how we really connect to the problem to be
We
able
do
to
it all
say,
the
"Hey,
time.
exactly."
And there should be no reason why you can't do that. because no man is an island and the world was not conquered on its own by one person.
Exactly.
And change is not going to happen with just one person. It starts with one person in how you lead your day and how you present yourself to people and how you choose to lead your life. I mean, I could have tons of crap going on in my life. Well, I did. There were times in my life before that I had family stuff going on. When I moved back to Atlanta in 1995, and it took me 9 months to find a job. And then for the whole year that I had that job from spring of 96 to June of 97, not a single person knew I was getting divorced.
Wow.
I had no idea of what was going on in my life because I chose not to take it to work.
Right.
I could have really just drug everybody down with me and got them on my pity party bus all I wanted. But no, I had two smaller kids to raise. I had a job to do. Bringing that into the workplace was not going to solve anything for anybody. If anything, it was probably going to get my tail fired. And I wasn't going to do that. Those people didn't deserve to have to go through all that. They didn't need to hear all the laundry or anything. And they didn't know. So when I told them I had gotten divorced, they said, oh, we had no idea. And I said, that's why I wanted it that way.
Right.
And I've had other issues in life that we won't go into that I just know one person knew. But I knew that one person who was a friend of mine would never divulge that to anybody else.
Right.
But
and you chose and you chose not to bring it into work and kept things positive at work. And
well, it was none of their business for one. And
well, you didn't know them yet. Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's all about a choice. How do you want to look? How do you want your day to look?
Right.
Do you want to walk around with your chin hanging on the floor and Mr. Negative, Mrs. Negative, or do you want to find some positivity? And that's one thing he talks about this in this book, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's they talk about is hope. A lot of people have lost hope.
Yeah.
And so we've got to get hope back to where we can be inspired to help people make a change for each and every single person, and then just grow it individually, person by person by person by person.
Right. And it can start as simple as just smiling at somebody and thinking positively. Exactly.
Yeah. Chris, we were talking about that earlier. I think you had stepped away that this whole year and a half with masks, we've not been able to truly relate to people because their faces have been covered.
Yeah. You almost couldn't even see expressions.
See someone smile.
Oh.
Right.
I got it, ladies. Hype. Hope inspires people and everything.
Ooh. You're good today. That's awesome.
That just came to my, and I even typed it in my Google and said hype. And that is, like I said, hope inspires people and everything. And I was like, that's what, yes. Let's be the hype. Hype it up.
Yes.
Yeah, let's be the hype.
Yes.
Let's be the hype.
How about hope inspires
like
people everywhere?
We can do that too. Say that again.
Hope inspires people everywhere.
Yes. It's good.
So that's two versions of hype right there in itself.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would be the call to action today, ladies?
For me, I would just say, be the change that you want to see in the world. That's my call to action. So be the change you want to see in the world and be positive.
Carla?
Mine is, it starts with you. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yes. Yes. And my call to action, ladies and gentlemen, would be the one. Because for you to be the change, you have to be the one to create that change. And not only that, be the one that can give out the hype, you know? Be that one person that can be able to say, I'm going to make a difference in someone's day today, whether they know it or not.
Be the
And-
light.
Yep.
Be the
Exactly.
light.
Yep.
Mhm. Exactly.
Be the sunshine.
I was going to say, be
Not
the
the
sunlight.
Yeah. Be the sunlight, not the rain clouds.
Right.
No, we can bring some rain because without rain, there's no growth. So you got to water
That's
that
true.
garden really well, you
Yeah.
know. So there's
Yeah.
always going to be a need for rain because
Mhm.
you can't just do it from the well, because if the well goes dry, what do you do then? You know.
Yeah.
There's always a natural balance and order to everything.
Yeah. You know, I watered my tomato plants and my basil yesterday, and then it never rained at my house. So I need to go
It's
water.
rained every day here.
Oh, yeah. Well, send me some, okay?
Well,
Sure.
we'll send you some more rain. Yes, absolutely.
Well, so how do you react to people when they say, oh, it's raining again?
I say, that's awesome. We need rain.
Yeah,
I tell them God's watering the grass.
That's right. We need the rain.
I love that.
We need the rain. Yeah.
We
So,
need it.
Yep.
now you can keep the snow, Lisa.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't
So,
need that,
but yes, everyone, thank you so much for watching and chiming in today. If you guys are wanting to get in touch with one of us, please get a hold of Carla or myself or Lisa. And like I said, if you use the hashtag replay, just write in the comments what you took from this for our week about transformation. And yes, John C. Maxwell, if you do see this, we would love to have a great and engaging conversation with you, sir, because you've inspired me to not only transform my life, but you've also helped these great ladies to help transform their lives. Because put out that book again, Carla.
Oh,
Change your world.
Change your world.
I'm going to have to get the book.
and they have a workbook too.
And they don't come together?
You might be able to. I didn't order them that way, but you might be able to order them both. They're on Amazon. I got
Okay.
one on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But like I said, ladies, I'm so thankful and honored you on this journey with me. And Sandy, I know she's probably out golfing today, probably on the 19th hole with her daughter. So
It's too early for that.
yeah.
It's lunchtime, so they're
Yeah.
probably just.
So, but ladies, like I said, I'm so thankful and honored that you're on this journey with me, and I just can't thank you enough that not only are we going to change the world, we're going to change, like I said, one person at a time, one community at a time, one organization at a time, and even I will dare say one nation at a time, and we'll do it, and I know it.
All right.
All righty.
We will.
Remember,
Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. And remember, believe in the hype. Okay?
That's right.
Believe in
Hype.
the hype.
Believe in the hype.
Right.
Yes.
All right,
See you
ladies. Have
later.
a good one.
Bye.
Bye.